Yes. Come with me. It's that time of week, folks. Tomorrow night, Thursday night football is upon us. We got the Lions returning to the scene of the crime, Lambeau Field. It is Thursday night football. So this NFC North battle, and I know like we get into the hyperbole, we like to overreact, we do all that stuff. I'm guilty of it myself, for I am human. But like last week, me and Mr. Logical talked about how Minnesota and the Chargers was going to be a playoff elimination game. Both were 0-2. The Chargers were able to pull it out. But this week, I'm labeling this the NFC North Championship. The winner of this game will get a leg up in the division because Minnesota lost that game and is 0-3. The Bears are 0-3 with Denver coming in pissed off because they gave up 70 points the other day. So I think we're headed for a good game. Now, Jordan Love, this is his first year as a starter. It's been okay. He's only completing 53.1% of his passes. The numbers look good as far as his touchdown to interception ratio, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. But with that completion percentage, it just tells me that he hits a lot of timely plays versus being able to control the offense. Green Bay cannot run the ball without Aaron Jones. So he's questionable for tomorrow, along with Christian Watson, who hasn't played yet this season, and Jair Alexander, who I think is the best corner in the league, along with Kerry Valentine, another defensive back for the Packers. So that's a pretty extensive, important injury list. Now, A.J. Dillon has been filling in for Aaron Jones in the backfield. You ready? 39 carries, 107 yards. And for those mathematicians out there, or those of you that don't want to do math, that'd be 2.7 yards per carry. Unacceptable on a team that has playoff hopes, that plans to win this division. Amon-Ra St. Brown from the Lions, he hasn't been disappointed now, has he? He's received at least 70 yards catching in all 3 of Detroit's games so far. Now, normally when it's Thursday night football, I tend to like the home team because they're at home versus having to travel on the short week. But Detroit's played on Thursday already this year. They went to Arrowhead and pulled out a victory, if you remember, opening night. Detroit, I think, has some momentum going for them. Like the Packers got fortunate the other day. I believe that Derek Carr got hurt, or else they were going to fall to the Saints and lose 2 in a row. And at this stage, I just don't know what the Packers are. They're about this close from being 3-0. And then they're about this close to being 1-2. Because, of course, they had the 12-point lead against Atlanta 2 weeks ago and blew that game. But also, this past week, they were down 17-0 to the Saints starting the fourth quarter. So they've been kind of up and down, topsy-turvy, if you will. Jared Goff comes into this game 4-1 against the Packers in his career. Why do I call this the return to the scene of the crime? Because if you remember last year, Detroit, Green Bay, and Seattle came into week 17 all with a chance to make the playoffs. Seattle won earlier that day, which eliminated Detroit. But if Green Bay would have won against Detroit, they would have made the playoffs. And I know you remember Mr. Logical brought it up as well. Dan Campbell, when asked about his teams, what was their motivation, being that they had been eliminated from the playoffs, and he said, if we can't go, they can't go either. That is the essence of football, ladies and gentlemen. Pride, dignity, land it all on the line, mano y mano. So tomorrow night, Detroit, I think they're going to win this game. I think it's going to be a close game. I got it 27-23. like I mentioned, Green Bay's running struggles. They're 23rd in the league and 20 in total rushing yards, and they're 26th in yards per attempt. Detroit, or I'm sorry, Green Bay, their strength is that they only give up 199.7 yards in the air per game. So this is going to be the matchup. You know, if there's no Jair Alexander, how, pray tell, are they going to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown? Even if he is there, we got Sam Laporta. Remember him? 18 catches in his first 3 games, most by a rookie tight end in NFL history. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs, 17 rushes for 80 yards against Atlanta the other day. And I tell you, Atlanta's defense is better than Green Bay's. So when it comes down to it, I just don't know if I can trust Jordan Love in the high moments. I think that LaFleur is obviously an offensive mastermind, but I just think that Green Bay may have too many injuries to pull this out. Is Christian Watson going to play? I mentioned him. Is he going to play? If he doesn't, they still have weapons. They got Romeo Doubs. They still got Jalen Reed. So I think it'll still be a close game, but give me the Lions.